Miley Cyrus has just been called out and cancelled for being rude to her own fans. Now what happened? Well, Miley was having a meet and greet and pretty much ignored everyone. Now Miley held a fan signing event to celebrate the release of her new single, Every Girl You've Ever Loved, for the singer's Something Beautiful film. Now her friend Naomi Campbell was present too, and the pair were signing vinyls for their collaboration. But both celebrities were slammed for ignoring their fans and doing a meet and greet with each other. In fan-taken footage of the event, Miley was seen chatting with Naomi while greeting fans and signing the vinyls. Fans reported that they were disappointed with everything that happened, as Miley was talking to Naomi and not the fans, and this resulted in poor quality photos where the stars were often not looking at the camera at all. Now afterwards, Miley made an Instagram post and thanked her fans and told those who missed it to go buy the vinyl. Fans called out the star in the comments though, with one person saying sorry to everyone who went to get a photo with them talking to one another, and another Instagram user wrote, "The way you ignored your fans, LOL." On Twitter, many attendees shared photos and videos of their interactions with the two stars, which caused even more criticism. You pay for a meet and greet and you meet Miley Cyrus, and she totally ignores you because she's busy chatting with Naomi Campbell. Now one attendee shared a photo of them posing alongside the stars, but Naomi was looking down and Miley was not yet smiling. And this isn't the first time in recent weeks where Miley had upset her fans. At the beginning of June, Miley's Something Beautiful film premiered at the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival. Now it was a film based off her album, but it seems like some fans didn't realize that that's what the tickets they bought were for. Yes, fans were shocked that they were seeing a film at a film festival, as many thought the tickets were for a performance or a concert. Now after the premiere, Miley appeared at a Q&A session, and during the post-screening conversation on stage, several fans began loudly complaining about the fact that Miley was not going to perform live, with social media clips showing one proclaiming, "We thought this was a concert, we paid $800. Are you actually going to sing?" shouted another person, while the event's hosts attempted to calm the disruption by pointing out that the screening was a part of a film festival. Now Miley though tried to make it up to her fans by singing an a cappella version of her 2009 hit, The Climb. Now fans online were outraged as they felt scammed by the star and were angry, calling the event false advertising. But then a lot of people on the internet called out these so-called fans, saying that they were acting entitled and rude, and that they should have paid more attention to what they were buying, and to not blame and heckle Miley on a night that was supposed to be perfect for her. Ariana Grande's love life almost cost her her career, and most definitely her reputation. Now Ariana started filming for the upcoming film Wicked in December 2022, when she was still married to her ex-husband, Dalton Gomez. But just months after filming began, it was reported in July that Ariana and Dalton split earlier in 2023 and had been quietly and lovingly working on their friendship. But then just one day after this was reported, it was announced that Ariana was dating her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater, which allegedly began after he separated from his wife and high school sweetheart Lily J. Now after the news broke, Ethan filed for divorce from Jay after nearly 4 years of marriage. Lily though went on to blast Ariana's romance with Ethan, as she said, "Ariana's the story really, not a girl's girl. My family is just collateral damage." Now Ethan had a son in August 2022 with her, so this was all very shocking, and Ariana was called a homewrecker. There was a smear campaign against her, claiming that every relationship she's gotten into, her partner had already been taken by someone else. The events of Ariana and Ethan seemed to overshadow the events of Wicked, as every moment was made about them. The internet turned on once beloved Ariana Grande, and hit piece after hit piece came out. Michael Jackson had been accused of taking advantage of and mistreating people. Now it got so intense that a trial took place where he was charged for his actions. But on June 13th, 2005, the jury returned a verdict of not guilty on all charges. Now at the time, Michael's brother Randy Jackson claimed that Oprah was airing episodes related to his brother's trial in 2005 to make him look bad in the public eye. Randy said that he believed that Oprah wanted to see Michael in in jail. Now apparently when Michael saw this, it was the last straw, and it was then made clear to his family that Oprah could not and would not be trusted again, but Michael then maintained his innocence until his passing. Now people have believed that Stevie Wonder isn't actually blind for a while now. Yep, you heard that right. Despite the fact that Stevie was born prematurely and as a result lost his sight, many people have claimed over the years that he has faked blindness as a way to enhance his musical career, which honestly is genuinely insane. Now, proof includes where people believe Wonder was caught peeking or had an unusually good sense of spatial awareness as evidence of his supposed deception. Now, Wonder himself has publicly addressed the rumors on numerous occasions, saying he lost his sight as a result of a congenital condition and that he's never been able to see. Now, his friends and family have also denied these claims. Lea Michele became a meme due to rumors that said she couldn't read. Now, users online have said that she never learned to read because she started working young, as she was 8 when she made her debut on Broadway. Now, Lea has ignored these rumors for the most part, other than the odd remark, like in 2018 when she tweeted to a fan, "Loved reading this tweet and wanted to write you back," literally laughing out loud at all of this, love you. But in 2022, she addressed this conspiracy more directly, saying, "I went to Glee every single day, I knew my lines every single day, and there's a rumor online that I can't read or write. It's sad, it really is. I think often if I were a man, a lot of this wouldn't be the case." But she also poked fun at the matter on TikTok by lip-syncing to a clip of Kim Kardashian on a phone call. She's asked, "How is it?" and she responds, "It's amazing," before getting emotional and saying, "But wait, can you talk for a sec?" Now, the text on Leah's video reads, "Calling Jonathan to read me the comments on my first TikTok." But hey, at least she can see the funny side to all of this. Courtney Love had openly said that she would only date really rich men, and how she and Kurt Cobain got together isn't really known. Now, whatever the case may be, they became a couple by 1992 and got married that same year. Now, some people believe that Courtney had a hand in Kurt's death. Part of this is due to the fact that she introduced him to illegal substances, while others thought that she took his life for discussing divorce. His widowed wife then inherited all of his fortunes though, how convenient. Now, Courtney has denied this multiple times, but a lot of people hate her because they think she's responsible for Kurt's passing. In 2023, Page Six published claims that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, who had been together for less than 6 months, were already planning their engagement. An alleged source told the outlet Scott Swift, Taylor's dad, has been asked for his blessing and has wholeheartedly given it, and Travis has been talking to friends about a ring. Now, in early 2024, Page Six repeated similar claims, and an alleged source told the outlet that the couple planned to get engaged in the summer, but held off on Travis proposing over the holidays because they don't want it to seem like it's rushed insanity. Now, the source alleged Taylor and Travis discussed it and there is a plan. They'll get engaged on their 1-year anniversary in July. Now, the media was all over this and people kept asking about their so-called engagement. But during a February 2024 press conference ahead of the Super Bowl, a reporter asked Travis if there was another ring on his mind. He replied, "I'm focused on getting the Super Bowl ring. That's all my mind is focused on right now." Afterwards, a source then told Us Weekly, Travis and Taylor have no plans on getting engaged this summer. Things between them are going amazing, but they haven't even been together for a year yet and still have so much to learn about each other. In 2023, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell released their film Anyone But You, but it had been rumored that the co-stars had so much chemistry that people speculated they had an affair on set. The rumors intensified when Glenn reportedly broke up with his girlfriend Gigi Paris. Now, at the time, Sydney was engaged to Jonathan Davino, but they both denied anything romantic going on between the pair. But now, reports have come in saying that Sydney called off the engagement and that she's now single. Now, what's interesting about all that is that Sydney actually reunited with Glenn Powell on the weekend, as she was his date to his sister's wedding. So is there something more here? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. In 2022, the press tour of Don't Worry Darling was full of drama. There were scandals about the director, Olivia Wilde, and the star of the film, Florence Pugh, not getting along, and the fact that Olivia started dating the lead actor, Harry Styles. Now all eyes were on the cast, so when a video emerged of Harry taking his seat for a screening of the film next to Chris Pine, another actor in the cast, people actually thought that Harry spit on Chris, which is crazy, but there was video proof that so-called proved this. Now later on, Chris's representative said in a statement, "This is a ridiculous story, a complete fabrication, and the result of an odd online illusion that is clearly deceiving and allows for foolish speculation." Just to be clear, Harry Styles did not spit on Chris Pine. There's nothing but respect between these two men, and any suggestion otherwise is a blatant attempt to create drama that simply does not exist. Now Chris also spoke out in an interview saying, "Harry did not spit on me. Harry's a very, very kind guy." Now Beyonce shocked the world in 2011 while performing at the VMAs as she revealed that she was pregnant with her and Jay-Z's first child. But there were also rumors that she wasn't actually pregnant at all, either having a baby with a surrogate or staging an elaborate ruse so that they could claim Jay-Z's illegitimate child as their own. Now people even went as far as saying that she was wearing a fake bump and pieced together footage proving it. Now Beyonce actually addressed this rumor, calling the rumor ridiculous and over the top. And at some point, a rumor emerged online that Jennifer Lopez insured her butt for $1 million. And since J-Lo is, well, J-Lo, a lot of people believe this, and I mean, she is known for her curves. However, Jennifer set the record straight during a segment of Carpool Karaoke with James Corden in 2016 when James straight out asked her if her butt was insured. J-Lo though said, "No, I don't even, there's no such thing as that. And I think there's a place in your homeland England where you can insure certain things, part of your body. Seriously, I think that exists. I've heard of that, but not here, I don't think," she said. It's said that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting a divorce due to crazy demands and rules Jen has set up for Ben. She's put him on a strict diet, doesn't let him speak to women, and she wants to force him to have a baby. Now everyone is appalled at how controlling she is and is happy that Ben is finally getting out. You see, back in May, Ben moved out of their Beverly Hills home and has been staying in a house in Brentwood. He's also been seen occasionally without his wedding ring on. Now on the other side, J-Lo ended up canceling her world tour to spend time with her family and friends, aka to work on her marriage with Ben. But the pair have not been spotted together too much though. They didn't spend Mother's Day together, and Ben did not attend the Met Gala that Jennifer was a co-chair at. Now when they were spotted together at Ben's son's basketball game, things were awkward between the two. They were caught by Paps embracing and trying to share a kiss, but it was just so awkward and weird. Now J-Lo has also been posting some content on her social media that has raised some eyebrows about betrayal and moving on. Not to mention that the couple have put their $60 million mansion up for sale, which isn't a good sign at all. So what will happen to Bennifer? It seems like no one really knows. Now we have Justin Timberlake being arrested. Back in June, Justin Timberlake got arrested for driving under the influence. Sources connected to law enforcement told TMZ that Justin was at the American Hotel partying, and almost immediately after he left and began driving, he blew a stop sign. Now cops saw that and began to follow him, and it's then been said that Justin began swerving and the cops pulled him over. TMZ sources say cops performed a field sobriety test and asked Justin to do a breathalyzer test, but he refused. As for the traffic stop, law enforcement sources said cops observed Justin glassy-eyed, and they say they smelled alcohol on his breath. They said that he failed the field sobriety test when asked to do a one-leg stand and walk and turn. Now it's also been said that several of Justin's friends came on the scene and tried to convince the cops to cut him a break, but they refused. Now in the end, Justin was handcuffed and arrested, and the whole incident was recorded on a police officer's body cam. He was then charged with 1 count of DWI and cited for running a stop sign and failure to keep in his lane. Now we have Brad Pitt's behavior. A lot of eyes have been on Brad Pitt, as it's been revealed that he wasn't the loving family man everyone thought he was when he was married to Angelina Jolie. An FBI report said that Angelina and Brad were traveling with their children in September 2016 on a 2-week trip that ended in Los Angeles International Airport. Now Brad appeared to take issue with Jolie's parenting during the flight, and they retreated to the back of the plane to continue an argument. According to the report, Angelina said he attacked her before punching the ceiling of the plane repeatedly. Now one child saw the altercation and asked Angelina if she was alright. According to the report, "No, mommy's not okay," Brad allegedly yelled back. "She's ruining this family, she's crazy." Now after further physical altercation between them both, Brad spilled wine and beer on furniture and Angelina. Not to mention, recently 3 of his children have been dropping Pitt from their name, and one of them even did it legally. With all this information coming out, people are finally starting to turn against the star. Now we have Tiger Woods' cheating scandal. Tiger Woods was one of the best golfers in the world, but made a mistake that proved to be fatal for his career. Now Tiger became engaged to Ellen Nordgren, a Swedish former model, in November 2003, and they married in 2004. They had 2 children together, but in 2009, cheating scandal after cheating scandal was exposed with Tiger. More than a dozen women stepped forward claiming to have had affairs with him. Now when all was said and done, Tiger admitted to sleeping with multiple women, which he later specified was 120. Now it was reported that Tiger allegedly had a months-long affair with a New York City nightclub host, and days and months following this report, more than a dozen women claimed in various media outlets to have had affairs with him. Now he lied about everything before finally confessing to cheating in a televised statement. After 6 years of marriage, his wife Ellen divorced him, which makes a lot of sense. After the news broke, sponsors immediately cut ties with him, and he was out tens of millions of dollars almost overnight. Now everyone was disgusted with his behavior, and he's been trying to rebuild his brand ever since. Now we have Amber Heard. In 2022, Amber Heard and her ex Johnny Depp had a lawsuit that was watched around the world. Now Amber exposed things about how Johnny mistreated her, and a lot of people didn't believe her, and since the trial, she's become one of the most hated people in the world. Now petitions were started to get her removed from her projects, and due to this, she's now moved permanently to a new home outside of Madrid. She's bilingual in Spanish and is happy there, raising her daughter away from the noise, a source said in May 2023. I don't think she's in any hurry to return to work or Hollywood, but she'll probably come back when the time is right for the right project. Now listen, I don't blame her for moving somewhere else. The trial was covered heavily, and she was made aware that pretty much all of the internet hated her, and after going through something as traumatic as that, it doesn't surprise me that she wants to step out of the limelight. Now we'll just have to see if she ever comes back to Hollywood, or if anyone will ever want to work with her again. Now we have Meghan Markle's relationship with her father. Now Meghan Markle has been cancelled multiple times, but it mostly started when it came to her wedding and her father. Meghan's relationship with her estranged father Thomas came under intense media scrutiny as soon as she and Prince Harry announced their engagement in November 2017. In May 2018, just days before the wedding, Thomas teamed up with Jeff Rayner from the Coleman Rayner Photography Agency in Los Angeles to stage photos related to Thomas's wedding preparations. Then, after the photo mishap with her dad, it seems that Thomas made it worse when he sold a private letter Meghan wrote to him. Meghan wrote a private letter to her dad pleading with him to stop cooperating with the press. In it, Meghan said she felt absolutely blindsided by the pain her father was puppeteered into creating by the media. Now at the end of her letter, Meghan begged Thomas to please stop lying, please stop creating so much pain, please stop exploiting my relationship with my husband, and please stop taking bait from the press. But Thomas did the exact opposite. Now he sold this letter to the Mail on Sunday, and the site published it for the world to see even more Markle family secrets. Now we have James Corden's behavior. In 2022, James Corden was exposed for being rude and demanding at a restaurant, and he was temporarily banned from there. In an Instagram post, Keith McNally, the owner of celebrity hotspot Balthazar, explained how James had berated reprimanded his employees on multiple occasions and called the TV personality a tiny cretin of a human, and detailed 2 incidents of Corden's behavior as a customer. The first account claims that the talk show host was extremely nasty in his demands of Balthazar's manager, reportedly demanding the employee to take care of his drinks so that James would not write any nasty reviews on Yelp or anything like that. Now, another alleged outburst occurred when Corden was dissatisfied with his wife's omelet, and according to the Instagram post, he began yelling like crazy to the server, "You can't do your job, you can't do your job, maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself." Now, after this was revealed, the post went viral and James was forced to address the comments. James said, "The truth is, I have made a rude comment and it was wrong, it was an unnecessary comment, it was ungracious to the server." And since then, other people have spoken out about his unacceptable behavior. And to be honest, this doesn't surprise me, as I've always had a kind of weird feeling about him. Now, hopefully now he realizes that manners and how you treat other people are important. And now the owner later rescinded his ban on James, explaining on Instagram that the late night star had called and apologized profusely to him and his staff. And finally, we have the college scandal. Lori Loughlin was convicted of conspiracy to commit fraud in 2020 and served 2 months in jail for her part in the 2019 admissions scandal. Now, in the scandal, wealthy parents paid bribes to get their children accepted into prestigious universities. Lori and her husband paid $500,000 to get their 2 daughters into the University of Southern California as members of the college rowing team, despite neither of the girls ever rowing before. Now, they even staged photos for this. Lori ended up being caught in the lies and pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud and was sentenced to 2 months in prison, receive a $150,000 fine, 2 years probation, and 250 hours of community service. Now, when she was first accused, she was fired from the Full House reboot, Fuller House, as well as from When Calls the Heart. Now, Felicity Huffman was also involved in the college admission scandal along with her husband William H. Macy. Felicity made a so-called charitable contribution of $15,000 to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of her eldest daughter, Sophia Grace May. Now, the Desperate Housewives actress and her husband then made arrangements to do the same for their younger daughter, but later decided against it. After she pleaded guilty to fraud charges, she was sentenced to 14 days in prison. She then had to publicly apologize for her role in the scandal, admitting that she paid to improve her daughter's SAT scores. Now, Felicity and Lori were among dozens of wealthy parents who were charged with participating in schemes to bribe coaches and university insiders or cheat on entrance exams.
Recently, we've had a pretty remarkable meltdown from Kanye West. The rapper turned designer turned US presidential candidate turned Yahtzee with an N has been crashing out online. Admittedly, for a few years, but it picked up in 2025 after the Grammys. The Grammys this year is where Ye's wife Bianca was nude with mesh. Obviously, there was lots of pushback because of this fashion choice that eventually spurred on the latest Kanye West social media rant. Parts of the rant were in support of his wife and her fashion choices, but there were other things in there as well, lots of hateful words, mainly directed at the Jewish population. He also tweeted in support of people like Diddy and against those that have come forward in the Me Too movement. Essentially, he was tweeting whatever came to mind. Most notably, he tweeted out a photo of a white t-shirt with a well-known Yahtzee with an N hate symbol on it and said that he would never sell something like that because his followers might get hurt if they wear it in public. So not because that symbol is a mark of hatred, at least in the way that Kanye was using it, not in its original context of course, but because the people that would want to wear it hatefully might get hurt. Anyways, literally, guess what he started selling shortly after that? You'll never get it. The very same t-shirt. He took out an ad during the Super Bowl, aka like the most watched sports event in the US, and advertised his website, but when people went there, the only item for sale was the shirt he said he would never sell. The ad itself was also quite strange. It was filmed on his phone, which was similar to what he did last year, except last year he filmed from his car and the site was full of normal clothes and shoes, whereas this year he filmed from seemingly his dentist office right after a procedure, and the site led to the one terrible t-shirt. Kanye's Twitter rant eventually morphed into him literally tweeting out explicit videos, links to them, which is interesting considering a couple years ago he was calling for the site website to remove all of that stuff, and that Jesus saves. It was after this that he deactivated his account for the first time. He returned shortly after with more offensive and erratic tweets. Now, listen, I don't really think that Kanye is humiliated by his outbursts at all, but he should be. His hate-filled remarks have no place anywhere, and it's truly amazing how in just a couple years he went from preaching about the Lord to claiming to be him. But back when the idea of going viral was still kind of a new thing, Christian Bale had a meltdown that grew so popular it was people's ringtones. So let's set the scene. Bale is working on Terminator Salvation, or T4. He's in the middle of a scene and the cinematographer walks into the background of a shot right across Bale's sightline. Bale proceeds to crash out about this. The video of this moment was never released, if there was any, but there was audio, and honestly, the video's not really needed. You can hear how mad the actor is. After being released online, the audio quickly spread to every inch of the internet. It featured plenty of explicit language, enough to get cancelled by today's standards for sure. He called the cinematographer unprofessional multiple times, threatened to quit, the whole 9 yards. Bale yelled that he wouldn't go around during a scene ripping the set apart, so why should the cinematographer be disrespecting the actor's space like this too? In the end, the rant had more of an effect on Terminator Salvation than it did Bale's career. People obviously weren't happy with how Bale treated the cinematographer, but for the most part, it was just kind of the movie that flopped. People were already on the fence about T4, and the rant just made people want to see it less. Bale ended up issuing a public apology, saying he was out of order beyond belief, he makes no excuses for it, there is nobody that has heard the tape that has been hit harder than him, and saying that he sometimes gets so lost in a role that he does lose himself a bit. Shortly after this, Bale went on to star in the final installment of the Dark Knight trilogy, and the on-set rant turned into a minor hiccup in the actor's journey and a fun fact that you would hear about in a video like this. The on-set meltdown nearly destroyed his career at the time, but then, you know, Batman came back around, and it's amazing what a good acting performance can do for someone's reputation. Hugh Grant was called out online after the reason for his on-set meltdown on the Dungeons & Dragons film came to light. The British actor apparently lost it on a woman who was simply there to chaperone the young star of the movie. He had thought that she was someone who is more familiar with movie sets, like an executive or someone like that. I mean, that doesn't really warrant the response that he apparently had. Grant said that he had lost his temper and compared himself to Christian Bale's infamous 2009 incident. He shared all this in an interview with Total Film magazine. Apparently, it also happened on the first day of filming. He said that he ended up doing a lot of groveling once he realized the error of his ways and that the woman was actually very nice. Unfortunately, this outburst news was not exactly a surprise to a lot of people that have followed Grant's career through the years. He gained a rep for being very difficult on set. In 2012, TV host and actor Jon Stewart claimed that Grant's on-set behavior wasn't great, saying the actor would never be welcomed back on the show that he had been working for at the time. He also said that Grant was giving everyone grief the whole time. Hugh Grant appeared to have taken a break from acting early in his career, but according to the actor, that was not on purpose. Apparently, his behavior on the movie set, Did You Hear About the Morgans, caused opportunities to dry up for him, and that's not me saying that, it's him. He pinpointed this flick as the moment his career took a pause, claiming that Hollywood gave me up because I made such a massive turkey with that film with Sarah Jessica Parker. Whether I wanted to or not after that, the days of being a very well-paid leading man were suddenly gone overnight. People are also speculating that Grant is the person behind an on-set story from Rebecca Ferguson told early last year. The actress shared that she was once screamed at by a co-star on set to the point of tears. To be clear, Ferguson has never actually named the person that she was talking about. She made it clear that she wanted people to focus less on that and more on the message that she was trying to convey. The Sparks Notes version of that is that you need to know how to stand up for yourself. But still, the internet loves drama and began combing through her past projects trying to find the actor. Due to his past on-set behavior, when people saw that Hugh Grant starred in Florence Foster Jenkins with her, he became suspect number one. It's like a year later though, and there hasn't been any confirmation that the yeller was in fact Hugh Grant. Though the actor himself has said that Renee Zellweger is one of the few actresses that he hasn't fallen out with, so there's that. Hailey Bieber was called out by a former restaurant host on TikTok for being not nice, leading to the star issuing a public apology. Back in 2020, TikToker Julia Carol Ann started rating celebrities that she had interacted with during her time at an upscale, unspecified New York restaurant. Using a 1 to 10 schedule, she would share why certain people ranked the way that they did. Hailey Bieber received a 3.5 out of 10. Julia claimed that she had interacted with the model multiple times and none of them were great. She said that she wasn't trying to be a hater and wanted to like the star, but the score speaks for itself. It's not clear exactly what Bieber might have done to receive this score, but it's clear that she wasn't proud of her past actions when she actually found and responded to this video. The model left a comment apologizing for her behavior that read, read, "Just came across this video and wanted to say so sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or a bad attitude. That's not ever my intention." She went on to say that she was glad that she was called out and held accountable for her behavior so she can do better in the future. She also said that she hoped the pair could someday meet in person so she could apologize face to face. Carol Ann did respond saying that she hopes for the same and that she also appreciated Bieber taking accountability for her actions. The precise words were calling her an accountability queen. Despite Bieber apologizing, people still attacked her online. She's one of those people on the internet that people just do not like and will take any opportunity to go after. Sometimes it's warranted, other times it's not, in my opinion anyways. Anyway, the point is she receives a lot of hate online pretty consistently, and that can take a toll mentally. She gave fans an inside look at how it all affects her in a series posted to her YouTube channel featuring psychiatrist Dr. Jessica Clemens. She directly addressed the previously mentioned TikTok, saying that seeing the video really upset her. She explained that at varying points, presumably including that of when she met the hostess, she was going through a lot of emotional lows and interacting with anyone was difficult. She did clarify that she knows that that doesn't excuse her negative behavior. The model shared that she actually didn't even remember meeting Carol Ann, but she still regretted her actions and wants to strive to do better. On Hailey's end, the alleged feud with Selena Gomez has kicked up again, but looking over at Justin, he's being accused of taking substances and being a bad father, and together they are being slammed with rumors of divorce. So basically, all the stuff we've been hearing about for the last 5 years, or longer, depending on the rumor. Let's start with Hailey because this happened like literally last week and she seemingly responded to the incident on her Instagram story. A TikToker noticed that they received a like from Hailey Bieber, which wouldn't be drama usually, except that the video in question was kind of anti-Selena Gomez and her fiance Benny Blanco. The TikTok was criticizing new photos of Selena and her partner. If you spend any time on the internet, you've probably seen that people don't believe that Benny and Selena are in the same league when it comes to attractiveness, and because of that, they shouldn't be together. Whether or not he makes her happy does not matter. There was only one photo of the bunch in the TikTok that was kind of an outlier, her feet up to his face, but most of them were just pictures that a couple would usually take together. Like, one of them was just them sitting on a couch, so why are we acting like they committed a crime? Anyways, the style of the video was showing the photos in the background with the caption, "Sorry to do this to everyone, but I had to look at these photos so you do too. I genuinely can't decide which is the worst." I mean, for me, it's the feet one, but that's just because I personally hate them. People didn't get a chance to focus on the video itself though once they noticed who was liking it, allegedly one Hailey Bieber. Soon, the top comments in the video were all about that. People were calling Hailey obsessed and a hater. There were also lots of comments about how when Hailey seemingly liked the video, it wasn't viral yet, which had people accusing the model of having a whole For You page about Selena hate and generally being a stalker. However, there is a chance the TikToker fabricated this whole thing, using established public feelings to their advantage to gain more attention. They were the one that first pointed out that Hailey liked the video. If you go to someone's TikTok, you can't see what accounts liked a video the way that you on other social media sites like Instagram. Only the person that posted the video gets notifications about who liked it, so no one would have known that Hailey liked the video if the creator didn't say anything. A rep for Hailey has said that the liking never happened and that the creator made it up for personal online gain. Her account did grow after this drama, her follower count rising and videos covering it being her most watched by far. Some people are also skeptical of the whole thing because the proof that Hailey interacted with the account is in the form of a screenshot, something that the comments have pointed out could be photoshopped or AI generated. People began asking the creator to screen record the notification, however that is yet to make it out. Whether that be because the TikToker actually did photoshop the image or because they would have to scroll through thousands of notifications just to get back to Hailey's, who knows? But it's enough to have people taking Hailey's side in this mess. The creator did post a screen recording of her screenshots in her folder at the times that she did take them, but it's still not a screen recording of the notification itself. Hailey recently posted a cryptic message on her Instagram, and it looks like it might have something to do with this situation, maybe? To a plain background she wrote, "Pastors and preachers really love to just put words together with the same letter and act like it's hitting so crazy." Adding examples below like "there's grace in the gratitude." Finishing off the image saying that it drives her bananas. The following story was of the Flaming Elmo meme, excellent choice first of all, and this one was captioned, "and then people sit there like this eating it up." Since the TikTok like drama was all people knew about recently, it was assumed that these stories would be about that. It's not hard making a connection to the Elmo meme since people jump at the chance to say Hailey hates Selena, but I'm not really sure what the alliteration post means. The opening for the Hailey liked my TikTok video was Hailey Bieber herself, so maybe it's referencing that. I admit I'm not sure. I don't want to pretend like I know the situation on a personal level, unlike the TikToker. In her 3 videos covering this moment, she outright said that she feels like this is definitive proof that when Hailey says there's no drama, that she's lying. She also said that Hailey probably effing hates Selena, and she also said that Hailey's For You page was probably full of Selena hate and was trained to show her videos bashing the singer since she allegedly interacted with the video when it was only at 77,000 views. Hailey and Selena have been dealing with rumors of a feud for about a decade now. They have shut the rumors down multiple times, even posed together for pictures, but they always seem to end up right back where they started, with headlines saying they are fighting, and it's all because they dated the same guy. Justin Bieber. He's found himself surrounded by controversy. It's a lot of the same old stuff again, being a bad dad, using substances, etc. But what's more new is people speculating that the star has had a hair transplant. The stuff about substances and being a bad dad kind of goes hand in hand. Bieber has recently posted a few photos of himself using something that makes you happy with herbal substances. We can't say the actual names of these things, so I do apologize. But whatever, he was around them in pictures, which prompted people to tell the star to stop using and be a better father, be more present with his son. Bieber has been accused of using other, more intense substances, however there is no proof of those ones. The reason people were saying any of this at all was because Justin has been spotted out recently looking unlike his past self. People have said that he's been looking haggard and tired, his fashion wasn't helping the situation, as he usually goes for the oversized look, which makes him appear skinnier than he actually was, which only spurred on the rumors that his life was headed in a downward spiral. Of course, there is a chance that he's not looking as rested as he used to because he has a new member of the family at home that is currently at the age known for crying through the night, but that's just speculation. Reps for the singer had denied that he was using things, and now Justin himself seems to be responding to the social media accusations on his Instagram. The star posted a message about not having anything to prove or not owing anyone anything. This could also be about the divorce rumors though that have literally plagued the couple throughout the relationship. Despite posting many photos and videos of themselves together looking very happy, and even some featuring their son Jack, people are still saying the couple is headed for divorce. Reps for the couple have said time and time again that the pair are in it for the long run, but sources keep coming forward alleging that there's trouble in paradise. Just recently, after Hailey's event in February, a source shared that not only was Justin going through a hard time, but also that Hailey was really concerned for her husband and there was only so much she could do. The source went so far as to say Hailey loves Justin with all her heart, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's happy. The couple did seem pretty happy in all the birthday pictures and videos Justin posted, but who knows, I guess. As for the hair transplant rumors, because who could have seen that one coming? Those started on TikTok, of course. A plastic surgeon noticed that Justin really liked wearing hats, and there was a period where all people would see of him was him in a hat. The plastic surgeon took 2 photos of the singer, one from 2022 and the other from 2024, putting them side by side to try and prove his point. The 2022 photos featured a Bieber buzz cut, and the other photos showed his longer hair now. The plastic surgeon pointed out that the hairlines were slightly different and it is now more flat. The surgeon also said that it could take up to a year or even a year and a half for a person to see results with a hair transplant, so that would explain why Bieber suddenly loved hats so much. Since these rumors had their heyday last year, it's unlikely that Bieber's story would be referencing this, though it would still fit. Reasons for divorce rumors are not limited to the rumors of substance use, or, well, there would be more if that is the case to that alleged story. It's no secret that Justin has had a hard time growing up in the public eye. He was arrested, he had a very public falling out with his ex, and he was treated oddly by many grown adults when he wasn't one. There are many videos online of grown people asking a teenage Bieber intimate questions or even getting physical with him without consent. He appeared to be more of a toy to people than a person. Then a video of him with Diddy resurfaced, and at this point we all know what Diddy has been accused of by literally over 100 people. People are worried that worse things happened to or even just around the start when he was that young, and that it's taking its toll now. Of course, hopefully nothing of the sort did occur, but no matter what, it's clear the singer is doing much better and is very happy with his wife, child, and career as it stands.
At number 10, we have Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke learned the hard way that mirrors can catch everything, even cheating. When a fan captured a photo at an MTV VMAs after party in New York City, the singer got exposed why he decided to get a little cheeky with the fan. Of course, it didn't go unnoticed. When the fan posted a photo to her Instagram page, many were quick to call out Robin as the mirror behind him captured the star with his hand in a place it shouldn't have been. What made things even worse is that the pair was also seen making out while the star was only a few feet away from his wife at the time, Paula Patton. The photo would then be tweeted to his wife the morning after with a warning message saying, "Look at the reflection, girl." There was definitely no getting away from that one, so let this be a warning that mirrors can catch you at your worst moments, so maybe don't take pictures in front of them. At number 9, we have Bow Wow. When Bow Wow got caught lying about his flight on a private jet, the whole world would be laughing at the star. When the rapper posted a photo to Instagram, he made it seem like he was boarding a private jet to New York to promote his new TV show, Growing Up Hip Hop. However, as soon as the rapper would post the photo, another photo began circulating online claiming that Bow Wow was on a commercial flight alongside fellow passengers. The user would then go on to say, "So this guy, Little Bow Wow, is on my flight to New York," but on Instagram he posted a photo of a private jet claiming he was traveling on that instead of the commercial aircraft. What made matters worse is that one even found Bow Wow used a stock photo from the Fort Lauderdale's VIP transportation site. It's probably best to not lie and always remain 100% authentic to your fans because you never know when one might call you out on it. At number 8, we have Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande found out the hard way that you should always double check translations before you get a tattoo, after the star intended to get 7 rings tattooed on her hand in Japanese translation. When the star uploaded the photo to her Instagram, many were quick to say that the tattoo actually meant a small charcoal grill. Grande of course tried to fix the tattoo, which also seemed to backfire on her as it would now read Japanese barbecue fingers. Luckily for the star, palm tattoos only tend to peel and fade much faster than other tattoos, so she'll have a chance to easily cover it up one day with another tattoo. But before you go and get a tattoo in another language, make sure you do your research because you don't know if you'll end up in a similar situation. At number 7, we have Kris Jenner. So remember that time Kris Jenner shared a photo of herself with chef Gordon Ramsay, and it was so heavily edited that Ramsay's face looked strangely smooth and shiny. Unfortunately, we know that this makeover was a result of a filter and some serious editing because Ramsay would then post another photo where he looked completely different and more natural. Now, the Kardashian-Jenner family clearly loves editing their photos, and their family has been called out numerous times over the last few years. Now, yes, the light wasn't exactly flattering, but both of them look fine, so Kris really didn't need to do any fine-tuning around the edges. Fans were quick to call out Kris, and one even noted that the photo was overly filtered and that Gordon had some serious guts to post the real photos. The fan would then go on to say that it's much shame that they didn't need to look like they were 30 years old. At number 6, we have Charlie Sheen. When Charlie Sheen was dining at a Las Vegas restaurant back in 2011, he decided he wanted to get in touch with Justin Bieber, so he decided it would be smart to send a direct message through Twitter. The actor would go on to write his phone number and told the singer to call him. However, instead of the number being sent by a direct message, it was actually a tweet posted to his page, and his number ended up reaching 5.5 million of his followers. The star quickly started to receive 1,800 text messages and countless phone calls. Now, at first he did play along with it and decided to be a pizzeria each time the phone rang, but that got old quickly and he opted to change his number after having a good laugh at his own mistake. At number 5, we have Courtney Love. Courtney Love once tried to claim that she cracked the code on the missing Malaysian air flight. However, she was just looking at photos of boats. Back in 2014, the singer would post, "I'm no expert, but close up, does this look like a plane in an oil slick?" She then went on to post evidence in a diagram of the photos where she believed the plane was. A fan would later zoom up on the pictures and say, "Sometimes our eyes see what we want them to see." The picture would then show a boat, and the fan would know, although it was an interesting note, it looks more like the other boats in the area, but keep up the good work. That one was definitely embarrassing for the star, to the point that she hasn't been so vocal on her conspiracies since. At number 4, we have Rob Kardashian. So you think because Rob's family knows how to run social media that he would have learned the power it could have. Now, in Rob's defense, we have all lied about applying to schools just to keep our parents happy. But let this be a warning, maybe don't lie about it on Twitter because you might get busted by the school you said you applied to. Back in 2012, when Rob would tweet that he was going to law school very soon, he was excited to attend, and then he went on to tag the University of Southern California. While some were quick to congratulate the reality TV star, USC came out to say that it was news to them and that he wasn't going to their school as he never even applied. While everyone was having a good poke at the star for that one, I think it's a good time to remind Rob to be careful careful out there because you never know who's gonna call you out on your next lie. And number 3, we have Kim Kardashian. Back in 2015, Kim got called out by Armani on Twitter for not knowing how to spell Giorgio's name. The incident started over Kim being upset about the brand's discontinuing her favorite foundation and how she was on her last bottle and wanted the company to continue making it so it wouldn't be a huge inconvenience for her. Now, in the tweet, she did write, "Why is Giorgio Armani discontinuing my favorite foundation?" and spelled Giorgio's name as Georgio. Armani would then tweet to the star saying to let them know what foundation she needed and they would send it out to her. They also threw a little shade at the star by telling her how to spell Mr. Armani's name as Giorgio. While there are other world issues other than a discontinued bottle of foundation, Kim, she was definitely embarrassed online for that one. At number 2, we have Gal Gadot. Actress Gal Gadot received a lot of backlash after her tribute to Stephen Hawking was seen as insensitive towards the disabled community. The star would tweet that she wished he was free of any physical constraints and that his brilliance and wisdom would be cherished forever. Fans were quickly to come for the star as they had an issue with the fact that she said Stephen's passing finally freed him from his physical constraints. Twitter user Adam B. Zimmerman would come out to say that Stephen's disabilities didn't stop him from changing the world and that people with disabilities don't wish to be free from their challenges, they wish to be valued for what they can do and not pitied for what they can't do. And many other users would beg the star to delete her insensitive tweet. And at number 1 today, we have Doja Cat. Doja Cat was almost cancelled after fans accused the star of participating in anti-Semitic chat rooms using some inappropriate language. Just days after the star landed her first Billboard #1 hit, she was accused of allegedly participating in the chatting platform called Tiny Chat. In viral footage, the singer could be heard making suggestive comments and also using some pretty insensitive words to call out the Black community on the site.
I'm gonna start with, I'm very sorry to anybody who's taken offense, to anybody who I've hurt.
It's a music video by FAU tweets that I've do it.
Let's take you work all night.
The star would then come forward to say that she's been using the site since she was a kid and she shouldn't have been using some of the rooms and that she was sorry if she offended anyone. Doja Cat's actions would cause her to be unfollowed by majority of her fan base, but that wouldn't be the only time the star would be humbled, as back in July, Doja would message Stranger Things actor Noah Schnapp about his Stranger Things co-star.
Number 10, Jay-Z. Yes, it's true that he's a famous rapper with a stellar career that made millions and millions of dollars. And the fact that he's married to Beyonce is definitely something to brag about. With all that considered, anyone would be cocky, but Jay-Z takes it to a whole other level. In fact, his arrogance was at an all-time high in 2013, when he was heavily criticized by social activist Harry Belafonte and other prominent figures in the Black community for what they believe is a lack of social responsibility. He responded in literally the worst way possible, quote, "I'm offended by that because first of all, and this is gonna sound arrogant, but my presence is charity, just who I am, just like Obama's is." He went on to say that Obama provides hope, whether he does anything. The hope that he provides for a nation and outside of America is enough. So basically, he says that he's doing the same thing just by being famous. Not only that, but in 2012, Jay-Z dissed Robert De Niro, who was apparently a big fan of his music. The actor reportedly called Jay-Z 6 times to work with him and received a grand total of 0 calls back. De Niro then verbally confronted Jay-Z about the situation and said it doesn't matter who you are, if someone calls you 6 times, you call them back. It doesn't matter who you are. That is just rude. Number 9, Gwyneth Paltrow. She's one of those celebrities that really need to be humbled. Even before trying to be some kind of lifestyle guru, she made it clear a long time ago just how out of touch she is with regular people. She once made an entire population of working mothers angry when she said, quote, "It's much harder for me. I think to have a regular job and to be a mom is not as, of course there are challenges, but it's not like being on set." Not only that, but in 2009, she was quoted saying, "I am who I am. I can't pretend to be somebody who makes $25,000 a year." Even earlier in 2006, she trash-talked Reese Witherspoon's career. Quote, "Why is she doing these stupid romantic comedies? But of course it's for money and status." And let's not forget all the drama with the Goop Lab, which is just another another way for Paltrow to push her so-called healthy lifestyle onto regular people, where she posts must-have outfits that cost hundreds if not thousands of dollars and tries to frame it as a necessity. Her website was also heavily criticized for promoting questionable things like sprays and crystals that are meant to prevent mental manipulation by people, not to mention potentially dangerous supplements that were marketed to pregnant women. So it's no surprise that she earned the top spot in Star's 2013 Most Hated Celebrity list. Number 8. Jennifer Lopez. JLo's reputation as a diva precedes her, and over the years it's become blaringly obvious that she is not at all down to earth. She didn't hold back when it came to her opinion on sharing the stage with Shakira at the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show. In her newly released documentary called Halftime, she labeled it as the worst idea in the world. Quote, "If it was going to be a double headliner, they should have given us 20 minutes. That's what they should have effing done." Basically, it turns out that Jennifer was frustrated with the NFL for booking 2 headliners and making them share the stage at the same time. She's also notorious for refusing to talk to certain people, like in 2012 when she got a hotel maid fired for asking for her signature, or when she was on a commercial airline and a flight attendant asked JLo what she wanted to drink, and rather than telling the attendant, she turned to her assistant to have them relay the drink order. Let's also mention the infamous Movie Line interview in 1998, when she basically decided to trash all the other celebrities that were big at the time and try to trivialize their career. When asked about Madonna, she said, quote, "Do I think she's a great performer? Yeah. Do I think she's a great actress? No. Acting is what I do. So I'm harder on people when they say, oh, I can do that, and I'm like, no, don't spit on my craft." Number 7. Justin Bieber. In the beginning of his career as a young teen, Bieber seemed to be extremely humble and kind, but as his fame grew, so did his attitude and lack of human decency. He took his apparent belief that he is a one-of-a-kind way beyond his position in the music industry, like when Bieber said that he hoped Anne Frank would have been a Belieber. The once teenage heartthrob shocked the internet in 2013 when he was in Amsterdam visiting the hiding place of the young victim, which has since been turned into a museum. The Canadian pop star opened himself up to ridicule and online anger when he wrote in the Anne Frank House guest book that it was truly inspiring to be able to come here and that Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a Belieber. The comments were insensitive at best, as it sounded like he believed Anne Frank would have been his devoted fan. Not only that, but he's also thought of himself above the law on several occasions and is known for his atrocious behavior in public. He's been in trouble with the cops for graffiti spraying, egg throwing, smoking, and causing disturbances to his neighbors, just to name a few. In a 2013 Billboard interview, Bieber said, quote, "Don't say I'm not talented. If you haven't noticed, I wasn't made, I was found." Yeah, okay. Number 6. Adam Levine. There is no denying Adam Levine's sex symbol status, but for that exact same reason, he has also been labeled a bit too cocky for his own good. In fact, just last year, a TikTok went viral of Adam going off on a fan for coming on stage. The incident happened during a Maroon 5 performance when he was belting out the band's 2004 hit Sunday Morning, and an overly eager fan suddenly rushed to the stage and reached for him. The video shows that security quickly grabbed the woman and pulled her away from Adam, who was then seen cursing, shuddering, and shaking off the experience before getting back into the music. Many were offended by his visceral reaction, suggesting that he should humble himself. And remember, the band is only successful because of its fans. But back in a 2014 interview with GQ magazine, the singer addressed his reputation as a bit of an egomaniac. Quote, "I'm not arrogant, I'm cocky. It's different. Cocky is playful." Others would certainly beg to differ. But if you want to know what was really obnoxious, let's look at his tone-deaf comments about infidelity in 2009, when he said, "I have cheated, and you know what? There is nothing worse than the feeling of doing it." So apparently it's not hard for the people that are getting cheated on, only the people that are doing the cheating. Number 5. Kim Kardashian. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star was never really one to be humble. In fact, she's known to be obnoxious and what some would call everything that's wrong with celebrity culture these days. She is totally obsessed with her appearance, and fans have seen her complain about not being skinny enough or fashionable enough for years on her show. So no one was really surprised when in 2015 she published a book containing only her selfies, which certainly speaks to how confident she is that people would want to buy 1,000 photos of her face. Or in 2011, when Old Navy released a series of ads featuring a brunette woman that looked ever so slightly similar to Kim, so she sued the company for millions of dollars. She believed that they capitalized on her look and caused serious damage to her career, which caused her to lose somewhere in the range of $15 to $20 million. Not to mention when she tried to break into the music industry in 2011 with her one and only song that was called Jam Turn It Up. Let's just say that it was a flop, but the music video was comedy gold. It's really no wonder that she's known as the most conceited of the Kardashians. Number 4. Kanye West. There are approximately over 100,000 ridiculous Kanye West quotes on why he thinks that he's so great. So much so that these days he's more known for his erratic behavior and strange comments rather than for his music and fashion endeavors. Like at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, when he infamously interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video. Kanye jumped on stage and took over the mic, declaring that Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time, and it wasn't just a heat of the moment thing. He seemed to be genuinely okay with interrupting another person's acceptance speech because a whole decade later he told Nick Cannon, quote, "If God didn't want me to run up on stage and say Beyonce had the best video, he wouldn't have sat me in the front row." Apart from that, one of the cockiest things he's ever said was, quote, "For me, I am a creative genius. There's no other way to word it." He's also compared himself to Shakespeare, Andy Warhol, and Tupac. In fact, he once said, "I'm my own favorite rapper," and that his greatest pain in life is that he will never be able to see himself perform live. Wow. Number 3. Russell Crowe. The actor has long been the poster boy for arrogant Hollywood types, blokey swearing and random acts of PG violence. There were rumors that he threatened any media platform that published stories about him having a fling with Courtney Love, and some say that he chose to have a bodyguard accompany him into public toilets to ensure that no one else enters while he was there. But one of the wildest displays of his arrogance was in 2002, when he intimidated and attacked the producer of the BAFTA Awards for cutting his speech short and preventing him from reciting poetry to the world. Around this time, Crowe appeared to be maxing out on his obnoxious troublemaking, and in 2004 he beat up his own bodyguard because he insinuated that the actor had had enough to drink. Then only a year later, he was charged with criminal possession of a weapon for allegedly throwing a phone that cut a hotel clerk's eye, all because he was unable to get connected with his wife. The Australian actor is also notoriously difficult to work with and has been described as having a legendarily bad temper, regularly shouting at his scriptwriters, yelling at them on phone calls while discussing the story. In fact, while filming Gladiator, Crowe allegedly threatened a seasoned producer and said that he would kill him with his bare hands because he is annoying the hell out of him. Number 2. Lea Michele. She has recently made headlines for replacing fellow actress Beanie Feldstein in the Broadway production of Funny Girl, and fans are fuming. They have good reason to be upset because Lea Michele is the complete opposite of humble. In fact, the actress is still being plagued by multiple allegations of racism and bullying that surfaced in June of 2020. According to actors that worked with her on the set of Glee, she was an extremely spoiled and hateful person. While only rumors circulated about her demeanor before, everything changed when the actress tweeted her support for Black Lives Matter, and her former co-star Samantha Ware called her out on her hypocrisy. After Samantha spoke out, dozens of co-stars, film crew, and staff flooded social media with stories about the diva. In fact, one Twitter user shared an instance when she worked with Michelle and the late Corey Monteith. Quote, "I've been telling people this for years. I worked with her once. She literally would only speak to me through her assistant, just not addressing my presence. She was 2 feet away. Corey was kind and incredibly lovely to work with." So it's safe to say that her real-life personality matched up with her arrogant on-screen persona as Rachel Berry. And number 1, Shia LaBeouf. Never a stranger to acting out bad behavior or questionable choices, Shia LaBeouf's antics have given him a reputation for being one of the most obnoxious actors that Hollywood has ever produced. One perfect example of this was when the Transformers actor tried his hand at directing and came out with his very own short film called Howard Cantor, which was shown at Cannes in May 2012 and received significant acclaim and praise from critics everywhere. But what people didn't realize is that he literally stole the whole script and tried to claim it off as his own. The script was published online in late 2013, and comic fans noticed that the story was copied pretty much word for word from a book by Daniel Close, without credit, consent, or even compensation. To make matters worse, when confronted about it, Shia apologized and then later revealed to have plagiarized all of his apologies from other people. Only a few weeks later, as a publicity stunt to gain attention, he declared that he was retiring from his persona as a celebrity and started appearing in public wearing a paper bag on his head with the words "I am not famous anymore" written on it. If any celebrity would benefit from being humbled, it's definitely Shia LaBeouf.